Good morning, my loves. So it's 3 a.m. Some of you know I wake up really early. I find this to be a great time for meditation and contemplation. I go to bed at like 8:30 every night. I'm kind of a little old lady that way. And this is often when I do my meditation. It's quiet. The world is really gentle. Everybody's still asleep pretty much. And so this morning I was thinking about what I wanted to share with all of you. And I wanted to share a message of hope and love, which I always want to share with you. But I wanted to talk about what do we do when we go through rough times, or when we think about the rough times that we've been through. And how do we move beyond that and stay in a place of centeredness and love and it's not, I think people get confused and think that, we have to be giddy, happy all the time, because that's not realistic. I mean, happiness is not ha ha ha, we're dancing around throwing flowers all over the place. Happiness is this place of inner peace and contentment, and knowing, this inner knowing that no matter what, you're going to be okay, and that everything is going to be okay. And so reaching that place takes, sometimes it takes time, especially when you have gone through a lot in your life, and you've had a lot of insecurity, and you've had a lot of trauma, or and many of us have, because let's face it, we live in a world where people have suffered a great deal. So this morning I want to give you hope and let you know that all of us human beings can survive anything, because we're powerful, and that there is we have the capacity to come through the shadows into the light and reach that inner peace. There's a thing called shadow work, where we can move beyond our past traumas, where they suddenly don't have the spiritual trauma, they don't hold the power over us anymore. And as we do that, we become more and more centered and calm, and able to have that sense of centeredness and peaceful awareness that no matter what, we're going to be okay, and that source, God, the universe, is conspiring to always take care of us and give us what we need. Maybe not always what we want, because what we want is not always good for us, but what we need is always provided. And I think that understanding and that knowledge is, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, has gotten me through some of the toughest times in my life, when I hold on to that knowledge in itself. So I wanted to share that with you this morning. And that's one of the things that when I do spiritual guidance, I can help people work through some of that old stuff and letting go, so that we're not always looking back, and we don't get stuck in survival mode, and we don't get stuck in victimology, and we don't get stuck, because it's really easy to get stuck. And it's really easy to get stuck in victim blaming, and in judgment. And this idea of good and bad, and neither is good and bad. It just is. So, releasing that idea of being really judgmental of yourself and of other people, it does take work, and I haven't mastered it, I promise. I am not a perfect person. I will never lie to you and tell you that I am. I have my moments. I still bitch and moan. I still get frustrated. I have to catch myself regularly and correct my own behavior. So I am not going to sit here and tell you I'm a master. I'm not. But I'm just a little further along on the road than some people. And that's it. We're all travelers on this road. And some of us are a little further along than others. And so if I can help you on your journey, I'd be happy to do that. I'd like to share what I know, is basically it. And I feel compelled to do that. Spirit has made it really clear to me this morning that we all have the capacity to see our inner beauty, and that we don't have to diminish each other to do that. That lifting each other up actually is the best way to feel good about ourselves. So that's my message for today. We just don't look back. You're not going that way. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Stay present today. Be peaceful with today, and know that whatever you need is in the works today. You're going to be taken care of. And it doesn't mean that there aren't bumps in the road, but if you learn to take whatever road bumps come along as lessons instead of punishments, always look for the lesson, because there's a lesson in everything. And that can be really hard. And sometimes you don't get the lesson right away. I'm trying to think of an example without it sounding dramatic, but those of you who've been with me a while, I talk about the car accident, or the van accident in 2008, in which my passenger died when I was the driver, and there were 15 of us. And I was injured, and that was the catalyst for me becoming disabled prior to my dementia. And it took me a long time to figure out what was the lesson. I had just really kind of gotten myself together after my nervous breakdown when that happened. I was coming about 3 to 4 years out of my nervous breakdown. And at first I was just like, why me? Why now? Like, I just got it together. And now everything falls apart. And when I stopped feeling sorry for myself and I looked back and I was silent, what I heard and what I felt deep inside of me was the word surrender. And it was about the fact that I am not in control. And that I needed to slow down. You know, I was at the time driving myself insane. I was driving between Detroit and Chicago 4 days a week to work. I was working 18-hour days when I was there. And you know, it's I think now looking back, it was the universe's way of stopping me and teaching me that that was not what I was meant to do, and that I'm not in control of making those decisions, that the universe does. And if you don't pay attention to all the little signs, and there were a lot of signs along the way that I wasn't doing the right thing, that I kept ignoring, and I got the ultimate lesson for that. And then I learned to surrender to the higher calling. So, sometimes the lessons are really harsh. Sometimes they just come in little things, and they're not so harsh. But if we pay attention and we listen to our intuition, we listen to that gut instinct, we listen to the little things that tell us, don't turn this way, don't go that way, this person doesn't feel okay, this doesn't align with us, we can avoid a lot of things that come up. And we feel a lot more peaceful and we feel a lot more happy. And the other thing I want to tell you is if you're having a bad day and you're just not doing well and you feel like you're not interacting with the world really well, you can shift your energy. There's a lot of things you can do. One of my favorite things to do is I have a playlist of songs that kind of lift my spirits, and I'll stick my earbuds in and I'll play those songs and I'll crazy dance around my living room. I don't care who sees me, because it's fun and it's funny and it shifts my energy. And I can't dance as much as I used to because of my physical limitations, but I'll do a little bit of that, and I listen to the music and I sing along to it, and it helps to shift your energy. So for you, find something that helps get you shift your neurons in your brain away from whatever negativity you've fallen into. You know, don't stay in that. And I did a video a while back. I'm not going to republish it, but about the power of association, and that's important too. Who we're hanging out with and what we're talking about becomes really important. So, if we find ourselves in a circle of friends that is talking about a lot of negative things, and we're talking about a lot of negative things, we're filling our mind with a lot of negative things. And we may find ourselves feeling really negative. So pay attention also to whether or not that's something we're doing. But if we're around a lot of positive people who are talking about more positive things, you know, and laughing and joking and having a good time and not gossiping and talking about creative endeavors or whatever, things that bring you joy, follow your bliss. That's what I want to tell you. Follow the things that make you happy. And quit caring so much what everybody else thinks. You know, other people's thoughts about you are their thoughts about you. It has no impact on your daily life. It just doesn't. You know, you are who you are, and you are perfect just as you are, because God doesn't make junk. You are a creation of the Divine Master, and all of us, every human being on this planet, every single one of us are divinely made. So we can't be made wrong. We can't be made badly. And those who behave badly, it's because of damage that has been done to us, not because we were made badly. No child is born bad. Damage has been done, and nobody has been able to help them along the way. And we need to try and have compassion and love and remember that. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to associate with them. And it doesn't mean that we have to have them in our lives, because healthy boundaries are really, really important. But you still hold love. And I'll talk more on that when I talk about, like, my decision to end my relationship with my narcissistic parents, and how I could do that and still really hold love in my heart for them and respect and talk about things that are beautiful about them. And I'll do that in another video. And that was a process all on its own, you know, and that in itself is a form of shadow work. You know, you have to do a lot of inner work to get there. So, anyways, that's my talk for today. I don't always want to cover heavy subjects. Sometimes I want to do some fun things, so we'll talk about that. I'm going to see if maybe I can get Mandy to join me on one of my lives. She's a lot of fun. She's good at giggling and stuff like that. And she can maybe bring some of that with her. And she's so creative. Maybe she'll teach everybody how to make her angel cards or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll find someone who's creative who wants to do that, and we'll do a fun lesson or something. I don't know. We could do anything. So if you have any ideas, put them down in the comment, because I would love to hear what you would love to see. Because I trust that you guys have some creative ideas. And I'm open to anything that brings you joy and any kind of creativity you have. And we can make that happen. What is it that feeds you? And you tell me. And we'll make that happen on this channel. Something that feeds your soul. Let's do that. All right. I love you all, because you're all sparks of the divine. Remember that. And go out today and smile at somebody. Spread some kindness. Do something kind for somebody. I don't know. Pay for their coffee. Do something. Anything. Give a homeless person a quarter. I don't care what it is. Anyways, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.